Good morning. I am 3+Kei, your very favorite social worker. Welcome back. Please hit the subscribe button right now for more content. What we are doing is going through the book of Joshua. We're studying leadership from a biblical perspective. So, thanks for being here, and let's get this show on the road. All right, I'm going to start off with a quick little prayer, and we will jump right into it. Hop, skip, and jump into it. Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all together today. Today has already been a day of rushing, Lord. What I'm going to ask is that for myself and anybody watching this, all of our loved ones, if we're in a space of rush, of busyness, that we recalibrate and hone in on your word and absorb your comfort. Slow it down. Be still within your presence, Lord. Yes, that's it. Please give us a stillness, Lord. That's the prayer for today. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen. Stillness. That's not something I do very well at all. So yesterday we were in Joshua 14, 6 through 15. And we were still going through the division of the land west of the Jordan. And what we were talking about was Caleb's allotment. Excuse me. All of the tribes, they got a piece of land except for the Levites. But Caleb was like, I was promised this land, 45 years ago, 45 years ago, Joshua. And not only that, but the land was promised by Moses. Joshua came behind Moses. So Joshua didn't even know what Moses has said, but he knew Moses was an astute man, was an honest man, right? And so when Caleb said that, and Caleb himself was an honest man, because back in the day, today people cap all the time. They lie. I think it is very commonplace in 2024 for people to lie, and it happens so easily. I mean, even with like filters, that's a lie. Yeah, you got way more wrinkles than that. You don't look like that, right? It's commonplace. But back in the day, people really took their word seriously, their integrity seriously, their reliability seriously. And that was the takeaway from yesterday, which was, do you operate with integrity and reliability? Can people really count on you? You said this last week. You promised me last week. We do that with the kids. If you do this, I'm gonna give you some candy next week. And then you hope they forget about it. I think that's a wonderful way to operate. And that was the takeaway. Are you reliable? And do you have integrity? You know who does? The Lord. The Lord does. We are not God. That's yet another example of how we are not God. We do not have integrity and reliability in perfection, in totality. We are flawed individuals. So that was a takeaway. That was the allotment for Caleb. And now we're in the allotment for the tribe of Judah. So let's hop into it. We're in the book of Joshua, chapter 15, verse 1. I'm going to read ahead here. It's actually verses. Well, never mind. Here we go. Verse 1, chapter 15. The allotment for the tribe of Judah, according to its clans, extended down to the territory of Edom, to the desert of Zin in the extreme south. Their southern boundary started from the bay at the southern end of the Dead Sea, crossed south of Scorpion Pass, continued on to Zin, and went over to the south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it ran past Hezron up to Adar and curved around to Karka. It then passed along to Asmon and joined the Wadi of Egypt, ending at the Mediterranean Sea. This is their southern boundary. The eastern boundary is the Dead Sea as far as the mouth of the Jordan. The northern boundary started from the bay of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan, went to the Beth Hagla, and continued north of Beth Araba to the stone of Bohan, son of Reuben. The boundary, just stick with me now. Stick with me. I know, you might have dozed off a little bit. That's okay. The boundary then went up to Debir from the valley of Acre and turned north to Gilgal, which faces the pass of Adumim, south of the gorge. It continued along to the waters of En-Shemesh and came out at En-Rogel. Then it ran up to the valley of Ben Hinnom along the southern slope of the Jebusite city, that is, Jerusalem. From there, it climbed to the top of the hill west of the Hinnom Valley at the northern end of the valley of Rephaim. From the hilltop, the boundary headed toward the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, came out at the towns of Mount Ephron, and went down toward Bela, that is, Kiriath Jearim. Then it curved westward from Bela to Mount Seir, ran along the northern slope of Mount Jearim, that is, Kesalon, continued down to Beth Shemesh and crossed to Timnah. It went to the northern slope of Ekron, Beth Shemesh, and crossed to, it went to the northern slope of Ekron, turned toward Shekirin, passed along to Mount Bela, and reached Jabneel. The boundary ended at the sea. The western boundary is the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. All of this to say, and before I even read the commentary, it just seems, right, that this is an extremely large area that is being covered. Let's read the commentary for chapter 15, verses 1 through 12. Notice that these boundaries and descriptions of the promised land are very specific, right? God was telling the people of Israel exactly what to do, and he was giving them just what they needed. They had no excuse to disobedience. This feels like a little bit of foreshadowing. Feels like a little bit of foreshadowing. Okay, let me read that. Let me run it back. They had no excuse to disobedience because the Lord told them exactly what to do and gave them the provision. Hello. It's kind of like, I don't know what book it's in, but when they were building the tabernacle, oh my gosh, right? It's like put 3 stones of ruby in the whoop-de-whoop. Come on, man. And it was all laid out. When they're talking about the tribes, the different people, is because the Lord in his word is trying to tell you exactly what's going on. All right, here we go. Verse 13. In accordance with the Lord's command to him, Joshua gave to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, a portion of Judah, Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron. Arba was the forefather of Anak. From Hebron, Caleb drove out the 3 Anakites, Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai, the sons of Anak. Now remember, they were the giants. The Anakites are the giants. So Caleb, that's actually big boy talk right there, because Caleb drove out Anakites who were giants at the time. Think like Goliath. From there, he marched against the people living in Debir, formerly called Kiriath Sefer. And Caleb said, I'll give you my daughter Aksa in marriage to the man who attacks and captures Kiriath Sefer. Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's brother, took it. So that was his nephew. So Caleb gave his daughter Aksa to him in marriage. One day, when she came to Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, "What can I do for you?" She replied, "Do me a special favor. Since you have given me land in the Negev, Dad, give me also springs of water." So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. So we have what we just read, chapter 15, verses 16 through 19. Othniel became, that's the daughter's new husband. Othniel became Israel's first judge after Joshua's death. He played an important role in reforming Israel by chasing away an oppressive enemy army and bringing peace back to the land. Here we see Caleb's legacy of faithfulness continue to the next generation. And then the last one we read, the favor, his daughters asking him for some more land and springs. Verse 19, Aksa asked Caleb for springs of water because her land was in the south and was very arid. Caleb probably granted her request as a wedding present. How lovely. All right. And we're just going to sew it on up here, the rest of the chapter. Verse 20. This is okay, here we go. Y'all ready? It's about to go down. Verse 20. This is the inheritance of the tribe of Judah, according to its clans. The southernmost towns of the tribe of Judah in the Negev toward the boundary of Edom were Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kenna, Dimana, Adadah, Kedesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Bealoth, Hazor Hadattah, Kirioth Hezron, that is Hazor, Amam, Shema, Moladah, Hazar Gada, Heshmon, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shual, Beersheba. I impressed myself. Biziothea, Bela, Eam, Ezim, Eltolad, Kessel, Hormah, Ziklag, Madmanah, Sansana, Leboth, Shelam, Ain, and Rimmon, a total of 29 towns and their villages. Okay, that was the southernmost towns. Now, in the western foothills, Eshcol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, Engana, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Soka, Ezekah, Shiram, Edathiam, and Jederah, or Jederothium. There we go. 14 towns and their villages. Zidon, Hadashah, Migdal Gad, Delian, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bosketh, Eglon, Kabon, Lamas, Kitlish, Gederath, Beth Dagon, Nama, and Makkedah. 16 towns and their villages. Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Iftah, Ashna, Nezib, Keilah, Akzib, and Marishah. 9 towns and their villages. This is just the western foothills. Ekron, with its surrounding settlements and villages. West of Ekron, all that were in the vicinity of Ashdod, together with their villages, Ashdod, its surrounding settlements and the villages, and Gaza, its settlements and villages as far as the Wadi of Egypt and the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea. We're almost there. In the hill country, Shamir, Jatir, Soko, Dana, Kiriath, Sana, that is Debir, Anab, Eshtemo, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo, 11 towns and their villages. Arab, Duma, Ishan, Janim, Beth Tapua, excuse me, Africa, Humta, Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zior, 9 towns and their villages. Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Juta, Jezreel, Jokadium, Zonoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 towns and their villages. Halhu, Beth Zur, Gador, Marith, Beth Anith, and Eltekon, 6 towns and their villages. Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 towns and their villages. And finally, in the wilderness, Beth Araba, Midding, Sekaka, Nibshan, the city of salt, and Engedi, 6 towns and their villages. Judah could not dislodge the Jebusites who were living in Jerusalem. To this day, the Jebusites live there with the people of Judah. That was the whole lot of Judah. It was about to go down. The next few chapters, I feel like, yeah, we're going to go through each and every allotment. So in totality for chapter 15, that was the allotment for Judah. Thank you for sticking with me. I definitely struggle read that. That's what happened. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, what we do know, the takeaway is that the allotment for Judah was extremely specific. And when the Lord gives you some instructions like that, baby, you better take heed. You better listen. There's a reason why it is that specific, right? Again, I am 3+Kei. I am your favorite social worker. Thank you for tuning in. I need you to subscribe right now. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button when it pops up. It'll be a picture of my face. Share these videos, like these videos, and to the 3 people, hi, Kay, and howdy. Thank you so much for commenting. Daily videos are 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. Now get ready to hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you later. Oops.